Meanwhile, in Great Britain, the continuous defeat of the Allied forces spread across the country, adding more and more pressure to the government. Wow, this is really a mess. I'm not going to stay on the seat anymore. Who wants it, who gets it?
Haha, my turn now. Circled by Axis forces, Britain was never in a more dangerous situation before. Fortunately, it got a really good orator as its new Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, also a firm lover of scissor hands. But despite his special habit, Churchill was a long critic to the Appeasement Treaty and has used his oratory skill throughout the world to strengthen the Allies' resolve. Going back to the Battle of Dunkirk, the soldiers thought they were doomed. But a miracle happened. The evacuation plan, Operation Dynamo, saved over 370,000 Allied troops in just short 10 days. Not by any fleets or ships, but by a wealth of private fishing boats, pleasure cruisers, and commercial vessels.
Politics is more dangerous than war, for in war you were only killed once.
Really? Let me show you something more dangerous. Attempting to intimidate Britain and force a surrender, Germany ordered an intensive bombing of London, days and nights for 11 months, but eventually failed. The citizens of London had to be evacuated to the countryside or took shelters in the underground stations. Look at these people's faces. Look at their smiles. Look at what they're doing. They've got balls of steels. Hitler's ambition of intimidating the British people and force them to surrender was not fulfilled. Combined with his racist view of the world that the Slavic peoples of the Soviet Union is an easier target than his Teutonic brothers, the British, Hitler chose to turn his attention towards the Soviet Union. On the other side of the earth, Churchill met with the American President Franklin Roosevelt in 1941 and composed the Atlantic Charter, which envisioned a post-war world without imperialism. The treaty also paved the way for the United States joining of the Allied force after the Pearl Harbor attack from the Japanese. World War II reached its turning point when the German troops were eventually defeated by the Soviet Union in the cold winter. When the spring finally came, the Allied troops on D-Day, June 6, 1944, Allied forces launched the Battle of Normandy, earning great victory. Losing its essential power, the Axis force was defeated again and again, and on May 1st, Hitler was announced dead. On May 7th, Germany surrendered unconditionally.